Samsung Canada Enhance the Digital Experience for Users with Disabilities by Sarah Sedian. This is a case study on Samsung Canada's Enhance the Digital Experience for Users with Disabilities campaign. Here's what you need to know about Samsung. Samsung is a South Korean multinational conglomerate that is headquartered in Samsungtown, Seoul, South Korea. The company is comprised of many other subsidiaries. Samsung has been granted more U.S. patents than any other company. They specialize in electronics and many other different subsidiaries. When people think of Samsung, they think of technology and leading the global smartphone market. The mission statement for Samsung is inspire the world with our innovative technologies, products, and design that enrich people's lives and contribute to social prosperity by creating a new future. Samsung fosters an environment of innovation and design, always pushing to be the best in their field. SWOT analysis. Strengths. Very strong brand recognition. Ranked number 1 in the global smartphone market. Weaknesses. Not as well known for their technology other than smartphones. Opportunities. Empowering those with disabilities and growing market outreach. Threats. Other top technology brands like Apple. Political system. Canada is a constitutional monarchy. It has 3 levels of government: federal, provincial, and municipal. The federal government in Canada is composed of 3 levels. At the top is the Queen of Canada and is the formal head of state. The Governor General represents the Queen in Canada and carries out the duties of head of state. The second level is the House of Commons, which makes Canada's laws. Members of Parliament are elected by the people and represent the House of Commons. The political party with the largest number of members of Parliament form the government, and its leader becomes the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the head of government in Canada. The Prime Minister of Canada chooses members of Parliament to serve as members of Cabinet. Lastly, the Senate reviews laws that are proposed by the House of Commons. The Senate is chosen by the Prime Minister. Corruption Perceptions Index. The index, which ranks 180 countries and territories by their perceived level of public sector corruption according to experts and business people, uses a scale of 0 to 100, where 0 is highly corrupt and 100 is very clean. According to Transparency.org, Canada scored an 81 and was ranked 9th out of 180, meaning that they are towards very clean in terms of corruption. Economy of Canada. Currency. Canadian dollar. 1 Canadian dollar equals 75 cents US dollars. Gross domestic product. 1.653 trillion in 2017. GDP growth since 2016, plus 0.117 trillion. Unemployment rate, 5.8% as of February 2019. Canada scores high on the economic freedom score at 77.7, which makes it the 8th freest economy in the 2019 index. The government emphasizes trade diversification, export promotion, and support for all small businesses and domestic industries affected by protectionism. Gradual monetary tightening by the central bank has kept inflation contained. Media system and literacy rates. Media of Canada includes television, newspaper, radio, news websites, and the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CBC. Canada guarantees freedom of expression and freedom of the press. The government may legally restrict free speech with the aim of ending discrimination, ensuring social harmony, or promoting gender equality. Canada's literacy rates remain stable at 99%. Demographics, psychographics, and more. Region, Americas. Language, English and French. Population, 37,197,379 as of 2019. Canada's population has tripled since the 1940s. The population growth has been consistent and shows no signs of slowing down. More than half the Canadians live in just two provinces, Ontario and Quebec. As you can see in the bottom right corner, in Canada's population density, the red dots are where it is most dense with population. Media and internet penetration. Television has a 99.5% penetration rate of Canadian households. Canadians watch an average of 26.6 hours of traditional TV per week. AM/FM radio stations account for 61% of all Canadian listening, whether over the air or via streaming. Canadians spend on average 4 hours and 14 minutes every day listening to audio. 86% of Canadians have a broadband internet connection in their home. Internet performance varies widely throughout the country. The population does include both high-density cities and remote/rural communities. The internet was the leading media outlet used by Canadians for the news, with 77% going online for news on a typical weekday, compared to just 42% reading news in print publications. Host country's culture. Distance and power distance is defined as the extent to which the less powerful members of institutions and organizations within a country expect and accept that power is distributed unequally. The score of 39 shows that all people are equal and deserve the same rights, including people of power. Canada's score of 80 on the individualism scale shows that Canada is a very individualistic culture. This translates into a loosely knit society in which the expectation is that people look after themselves and their immediate families. Host countries' culture continued. A high score masculine on this dimension indicates that the society will be driven by competition. A low score feminine on the dimension means that the dominant values in society are caring for others and quality of life. Canada scores a 52 on this dimension and can be characterized as a moderately masculine society, meaning they strive to attain high standards of performance in both work and play. Uncertainty avoidance has to do with the way that a society deals with the fact that the future can never be known. With Canada scoring a 48, Canadian culture is more uncertainty accepting. Long-term orientation describes how every society has to maintain sound links with its own past while dealing with the challenges of the present and future. Canada has a low score of 36, making it a very normative society. Indulgence is the extent to which people try to control their desires and impulses. Weak control is called indulgence, and relatively strong control is called restraint. Canada has a high score of 68, meaning Canadian culture is classified as indulgent. People who are indulgent have a positive attitude and have a tendency towards optimism. Primary and secondary publics. Primary public, people who want the best technology and smartphones. 18 through 40 years old. Middle through high income consumers. Secondary public, lower income consumers. People interested in technology. Samsung continues to rank first in global smartphone market share during the fourth quarter of 2018 and is well known all around the globe. Samsung sells the most of memory chips, which are used in everything from smartphones to servers. The second main revenue for them is smartphones, but the smartphone market has been slowing down in recent quarters. Output and impact objectives. To create content to increase brand awarenesses and exposure through a campaign video, bring innovative hands-free technology for Android devices at no cost to people with disabilities. Interactive icon placed on website to increase awareness of the technology and products Samsung offers for those with disabilities. Samsung's mobile phones and tablets come equipped with intuitive and easy-to-use technical solutions like TalkBack, Mono Audio, and Assistant Menu. Impact objectives. Increase awarenesses of hands-free technology for people with disabilities and the need for this market. Increase installations on the app and utilize all it has to offer. Increase user base. Campaign timetable. November 2nd, 2017, Samsung Times Essential Accessibility app for browsers launches. The Samsung Times Essential Accessibility post on Essential Accessibility Facebook about launch of app for browser. November 30th, 2017, Samsung times Essential Accessibility launched the assistive technology for Androids. Campaign theme and key messages. Giving people with disabilities the freedom to access the digital world. Bring the technology to market. The digital divide is overrepresented in the world with disabilities. Market. It is about helping people with disabilities be able to access the digital world themselves. It is giving them the freedom to do things on their own. The video showcases people with disabilities using their technology and being happy doing so all by themselves. Action and special events. The video showcases two individuals with disabilities using the app and how they are able to have the freedom to browse the web and do things that used to be either impossible or much more difficult. Implementation. Circuit of Culture. Representation. Samsung promoted their campaign through a video that showcases two individuals with disabilities using the app. Identity. The campaign gave hope to people with disabilities that they will have the freedom to use the digital experience on their own. Something that was once a difficult task has been made simple with this new app. Regulation. Samsung has used this campaign to empower those with disabilities. Consumption. Samsung's audience loved and felt empowered by the campaign. Production. The video with the two people using the app and showcasing how happy they were and how life-changing it was for them. Case summary. The Samsung Enhance the Digital Experience for Users with Disabilities campaign was not as successful as it could have been. The video was well made and showcased the importance of the app, but more could have been done for outreach, evaluation of output, and impact objectives. All the goals and objectives were met for the campaign. Key takeaways. Samsung created something that no one else has. It is something very important for a certain market. They did a lot of smart things in the campaign and reached all of their goals and objectives. Recommendations. Samsung could have done a lot more to increase the number of people aware of this app and who saw their campaign. They did not utilize social media. It was hard to find any information about the campaign. They should have used Instagram and the use of hashtags to bring more awareness. Also, I recommend they think of doing an event where they showcase the app in use and invite people to invest or people with disabilities to come try it out so that they can get first-hand experience. References.